Before we start, I always remind myself of Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5, and said, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight." Even in the beauty and fashion world, that truth keeps me grounded because trends shift every season, but faith reminds us that our worth and direction comes from something eternal. It's that perspective that guides every analyst I share here, including today's look at the Victoria's Secret fashion show. The angels are back, but this time they look nothing like they used to. After years of silence, Victoria's Secret returns to New York City, Brooklyn Navy Yard, and turned it into a pink gold dream escape. The question everyone is asking is simple. Is this comeback true redemption or another beautifully packaged performance? Stay with me because today we're breaking down the 2025 Victoria's Secret fashion show, the symbolism, the sparkle, and what it really says about where fashion and representation are heading next. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel where we celebrate beauty, books, and faith, and all through stories that make us think and feel. For over 2 decades, the Victoria's Secret fashion show was the definition of fantasy. Then came criticism, the narrow standard, the lack of diversity, and finally a complete creative pause. 2025 marked the second year since the revival, but this year feels different. There's nostalgia, sure, also a sharper attempt at reinvention, fashion with purpose, and inclusivity wrapped in glamour. Let's dive into the moment, the meaning, and the mixed reception behind the show. Picture the Brooklyn Navy Yard glowing in rose gold light. The runway stretched like a mirror, reflecting sparkles from thousands of crystals and sequins. Supermodels like Gigi and Bella Hadid reclaimed the stage in glamorous sculpted wings. Ashley Graham and Paloma Elisa walk with confidence, their look framing inclusivity as a part of fantasy rather than an expectation. Olympic gold medalist gymnast Suni Lee and WNBA star Angel Reese brought a sporty kind of sensuality, marking the first time athletes have their own signature wings, a power statement for female strength. Musical performances turned the runway into a concert. Missy Elliott with her iconic attitude, Karol G turning rhythms into confidence, Madison Beer pop romanticism, and the futuristic staging of Twice, bringing the K-pop aesthetic into global lenses. It wasn't just a runway, it felt like a culture reset. The biggest shift was in who walked the runway and what they represent. Ashley Graham's crystal feathers looked good as a celebration of body confidence. Paloma Elisinger stepped out in a bridal lace teddy with soft pink wings, a visual blend of sensual and scared. Angel Reese symbolizes the new era, athleticism meets glamour, redefining what angels mean today. Gigi Hadid embodies the playful side with an oversized pillow wing capturing the sleepwear as daywear trend. It was tongue-in-cheek but smart, owning the meme and market it back. This segment felt like a conversation between fantasy and present reality. As a woman watching, you could see they're trying to communicate this idea. Beauty isn't a mold anymore, it's just energy. And to me, the energy felt like grace. Not a perfect image, but the confidence to show up as you are. Let's talk fashion details because this year's show was as strategic as it was stunning. Creative director Adam Salmon brought what I'd call retail reinvention. He bridged luxury and streetwear, sparkling denim corsets, silky robes, and bedazzled party set that ends up in your shopping cart even before the outro music even ends. Designers took cues from the 2025 Met Gala of black style and craftsmanship. Runway looks that honor tailoring, heritage, and art. If you want to know all about the 2025 Met Gala, I do have a video up on my channel. I will link it in my description box. There was a through line of opulence and empowerment. Gold and bronze palettes on Adriana Lima and Alessandra Ambrosio. Velvet wings trimmed in bronze beads. Avant-garde silhouette by Iris Law and Alex Corsani that pushed lingerie into art. The makeup and hair seal the nostalgic 2000s. Bombshell waves, glossy lip, and dramatic eyeliner, a nostalgic echo to the original Angel era, but updated with modern beauty standards. Underneath the sparkle was the biggest story about culture and accountability. The Victoria's Secret fashion show has always been tied to fantasy, but over the years, that fantasy excluded most women. 2025's theme wasn't just about reclaiming the imagery, it was to update what was the fantasy representation. The show's cast felt like a living discussion on body anatomy and representation tied to movement and feminism, Black excellence, and culture rebirth. Missy Elliott owning the stage felt like a nod to the trailblazers who broke into a male-dominated platform. Meanwhile, Twice, the K-pop precision symbolizes global female unity in music and style. What stood out the most was the emotional balance. This year didn't sell perfection. It sold present. As someone who believes in faith and self-worth, I keep thinking of Psalms 139, that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. The show visual illustration that truths, different forms and shapes and stories reflecting divine intention in human diversity. Now let's address the split opinions because they were loud. Critics praised the show for reclaiming cultural spotlight without falling into objectification. Elle called it a return to spectacle that feels human, but others were not convinced. Some saw it as a museum piece with better casting, basically the same old formula with new faces. People felt it was trying to buy credibility through diversity rather than changing its core values. On social media, fans were split down the middle. Some loved seeing real representations, others missed the over-the-top glam and high-production fantasy. Comments range from, finally, representation that feels real, to it feels flat and I miss the magic. And that's the heart of the discussion. Can a brand root in one fantasy just pivot to another and make us believe it. To me, this is less about side and more about tension between marketing and meaning. When faith, identity, and culture intercepts with consumers, it is always going to be complicated. But that's what makes this moment fantastic. Victoria's Secret is trying to reinvent not just a brand, but a belief system about beauty. From a business standpoint, the brand is walking a tightrope. The show was streamed on Prime Video with Amazon. Shop the Show features blending entertainment and e-commerce. On one hand, that's smart. Viewers can literally buy what they see. But strategically, it raises questions. Is this about empowerment or conversion rate? Some analysts say Victoria's Secret has struggled to keep its identity by trying to appeal to everyone. It risks pleasing no one. Still, these efforts reflect a brand that is learning, even if it's late to the conversation. And viewers with faith-based value, this is a reminder that commercial imagery will always be complicated, but every effort towards inclusion still moves the needle closer to good. Let's take a breath here, because beneath the light and legacy is something relatable to all of us. When I watched The Runway, I didn't just see models or marketing. I saw storytelling, women owning the narrative that once confined them, and that felt hopeful. It reminds me of Proverbs 31. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. That is the essence of real beauty. Confidence rooted in purpose and peace. Whether you're wearing pink satin or sneakers, this moment calls us to do the same. Redefine our own beauty standard every day with grace and not comparisons. So where does that leave Victoria's Secret in 2025? Some say this is a rebirth, others say it is a front. Whatever it is, it's proof that when the brand listens, even imperfectly, the world notices. Maybe the real question isn't whether Victoria's Secret has changed, but whether we still need angels at all. What do you think? Did Victoria's Secret get it right this time, or is fantasy still out of reach? If you enjoyed this discussion, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Tell me in the comments how you define confidence today. Always remember, beauty starts with faith, and your story is worth sharing. Bye for now.